Good morning, everyone. It's your girls from Obscure Orations, me, Tay, her, Dana, and we're here to talk about FanCon, as Dana just corrected me because apparently, in my haste to put up posts yesterday's, I put FunCon because obviously I was thinking it was fun,
It was fun.
but in reality, it's called a FanCon, which was the first one ever held in LaSalle, and they had a perfect, I was going to say little venue for it, but it's actually a decent sized venue for it. So they can
It
fit
is.
a shit ton of vendors in it. Like my my gripe with the fan con would probably just be that they can let more human bodies inside of that building in one go. Because they were they only let in, like, I think when we were wandering around,
There
there
couldn't
was,
have been more than 75 people, vendors excluded. There
yeah, I
couldn't
was
have
going
been more than 7,500 people max at a time.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I don't even think there was 100 in there when I'm thinking about, like, because it was so not crowded and so slow moving that I think you're probably right with the 75 people, if not fewer than that, not including the vendors, like Dana said. It was very much, they could have easily let in probably another 50 to 75 and still had it perfectly flowing, no issues, because they let people stand out. Like Dana and I got there yesterday at 1 and we didn't get into the actual event until 2.
204.
2:04. So over an hour of waiting time in line to then wander through it and be like, okay, there's like no bodies in here. So they could have easily let in a lot more people and kept that line moving and had it feel more fuller than making all those poor people have to stand
Yeah.
outside for hours, because by the time that we left, the line was not even just around the corner, it was heading towards the other corner of the building to go around. Like, oh, those poor souls.
So, um, in finding out, well, in being at FanCon yesterday, I found out that they're having another one
Another fan con?
in January, a winter one.
Oh. Oh, I like this already.
So the post on Facebook for FanCon, Winter FanCon, same place, the LaSalle Event Center on Front Road. I was looking at the comments, and the comments were mirroring what you're saying right now.
Oh, really? Oh, that's
There were a
interesting.
lot of people yesterday that were very disappointed with being in full cosplay
Yes.
and having to stand outside in 85-degree weather to get in. And FanCon, don't take this personally, but your PR person, whoever is on your Facebook, the appropriate answer should have been, we recognize our error and we plan to do better for the next time. Not, well, then you should have bought VIP.
Seriously?
I'm like, dude,
Who
don't
responds with
don't
that?
don't be snippy at the people that are making your fan con a success.
I was just going
I
to say,
get,
that's the
okay,
way to
so
lose
so
people.
general admission was $6.99. It was $7 to get in. Worth it, in my opinion, definitely
Oh,
worth
yeah.
it.
Hugely
Um,
worth it.
when when people get snippy over a $7 admission, there's two things I can think of. One, they have absolutely no concept what it entails in putting on a show like FanCon.
Yeah.
And two, they're cheap motherfuckers. I'm I'm pretty positive LaSalle didn't just say, "Yeah, go ahead, take over the event center for the weekend." I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
there was a nominal fee for
Yeah.
renting the space for the 2 days. Um, yeah, I get it. The vendors paid a fee for their
Mm.
2 days, but the air, the electricity, hiring the people, things. So $6, $7, even $10, it would have been worth it.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say it had
Not waiting in 85-degree heat would have been
also
better.
I was gonna say yeah, like I definitely think I'm with you with the fact of their PR person on Facebook needs a talking to of don't respond back to your customers, like don't bite the hand that's feeding you,
Yeah,
where
exactly.
they're the reason, like the customers are the reason why it's a success. And I can definitely tell like it was definitely a success because I mean, had we had to buy tickets at the door, I wouldn't have stayed there for an hour to be like, okay, yeah, hey, let's wait to get to the front of the line and get in there. It would have been you know what, no. But because we pre-buy tickets, like most people, human beings do these days, it was like, okay, yeah, you know what, we paid the money for it. Let's get in there. Let's go see what it's like. Happy that we did. I mean, Dana and I thankfully got to just hang out together for the hour outside. So for us, it
Yeah,
wasn't anything out of the ordinary. But we got lucky yesterday because there was such a nice breeze being right off the water like that. It helped, and we moved into the shade pretty quickly. But then after that, it's like, okay, don't come back at your clientele and say, well, that's on you for not getting VIP. No, you respectfully say, yeah, you know what? We probably could have let more people in or explain the reasoning for it because we've been there for other events where they didn't do that at all. It was just, hey, here's all the people coming in. And it was just, they came in, they crowded it. So you can't tell me that it was for, because I'm sure that their response, or I thought their response back would have been, oh, due to fire code.
capacity.
That's
Capacity
why,
for fire
yep,
code, yeah.
exactly. Due to fire codes, we have to let in X amount of people at a time. It's like, okay, which I would have said I call bullshit on because I've been there and seen the size of the events and how many people they let in, where it's like, well, you know what? The other events that have more people show up to it and just come straight in tells me that the fire capacity and the fire code and all that is much different than what they were allowing in. And then watching as they were, like in most places, if they're literally doing a 1 for 1, you'll see they'll go, okay, a party of 2 left, we can take a party of 2 in. A party of 3 left, we can take a party of 3 in. One person left, we can take one person. Like that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. Whereas yesterday they were like, okay, 4 people left, and they were deciding. It was like, okay, yep, these two, these two, these three, these four, and they'd be like, okay, now we're going to stop letting them in. It's like you could
Yeah.
let a lot more people in, and it would have been an even more successful event because you wouldn't have had so many people upset about how long they had to wait for it. And like, yes, Dana and I both said yesterday that had there been the option to upgrade while we were in line, we both would have forked over the money and been like, yep, we'll go VIP and go straight in. Let's
Yeah.
just get her done, get in.
So, um, for drilling down further into the comments, there
Mm,
were actually people that were in line. So it's a square building. The door's up here. We lined up like this.
mm-hmm.
Taylor and I were at the corner of the building
Yep,
by the back. When we left, that line went all the way down and all the way across the building.
yep.
So there were people that were over here when we left at like what,
I was about,
2:30?
I think it was closer to 3 at
Oh
that point
no,
in time.
3, pardon me. Yeah.
Yeah, because we got
Um
back to your place shortly after 3.
Now it didn't close until what, 8
8. Yep.
8 p.m. But there were people that left and said, "I'll come back on Sunday."
Oh,
So, yeah, planning, right?
yep.
Because now I've just told you that they're planning to do one in January
Uh huh.
2027. who the fuck is going to want to stand out in, I don't know, possibly minus 15 degrees because you're on the fucking water?
I was just gonna say, yeah, that wind
What are they going to have?
effect.
Trash can fires like we're a bunch of hobos? Like,
Just sit there. It's fine. We're going inside. Yeah, because I mean that was my first thought when you said January. It's like, okay, I'm cool with doing that, but at the same time, then it's like, all right, for that one, yeah, I'd hell for sure I would go for the VIP tickets just to skip all the waiting outside and not freeze my tatas off.
yeah,
Because damn, that'll be cold on the waterfront. Like that'll be one of those times of wearing cosplays will be a benefit for you because it's hot as hell wearing them,
yeah,
but having them on during the winter, worth it. And I do have to say, so more on the positive side of FanCon because, well, those things like those were, like I said, that was the biggest gripe that obviously multiple people had with
yeah.
it was let in more people, be better at the flow, learn from it kind of thing. But outside that, the number of vendors that they had, fantastic to see such a huge turnout.
Hmm.
A little weird. I'm with you from yesterday. It was a little weird to see a gutter guy. Like that was so weird. Look over and you're like, oh look, Ghostbusters, swords, anime swords, Lego, rafters.
Check
What?
your gutters.
You're like, one of these things does not belong here. One of these
so,
things is not
so
like the others.
we were laughing about this like after you left yesterday. Darren and I were laughing about gutter guy, and I said I have a feeling that um his his boss, or maybe I don't know, maybe he owns the company.
But yeah,
He just saw that there was like a convention,
yep,
signed up, paid the price for the table, not realizing that it was basically anime, Dungeons and Dragons, Star Wars, comics,
yeah,
you know,
very
nerd
much
stuff.
not gutters. Like,
And he's okay, well, sit me in the back corner and I'll sit there. Somebody will talk to me. And I felt bad for the guy because there he
mm,
was playing on his phone, and there's like screaming kids running around, and he's buying video games, and oh my God, that poor bastard. But I have a
right,
feeling that if that wasn't his business, and a corporation bought bought a table and set him, I have a feeling that was some kind of penance or punishment for him to
right,
spend the weekend there.
yeah. You
You're
know
going to spend
what?
your Saturday and Sunday at FanCon that has nothing to do with gutters or home improvement.
And you got to sit there the entire time, all 8 hours of each day, and that's what you suffer with. So, like, he was honestly, I think he was the only one that was out of place. Outside that, everyone else was perfectly placed. There were comics,
Well,
there were Funko Pops because
the
I bought
Costco
them.
people, the
Costco
Costco
goes,
people.
yeah, but they go everywhere. Like, I don't know a place like no matter what kind of convention I've been to, whether it's been health, mental health, um, house shows, car shows, cons, anything like that, Costco is always there and they always get people. So they know that we're all suckers for them just showing up no matter where they are. People are like, oh, yes, I would like to go to Costco. So,
Like, offer us a free sample then or something. Jeez.
right? It's kind of rude that they didn't bring their food. Like, they have samples in the store.
So there was food vendors, there was food
Yes,
trucks outside, there was food vendors inside. Taylor and I got a lemonade from JB's Lemonades. I think it was JB.
that sounds, I think so. I forgot to get the
Anyways,
card because I was too thirsty.
their lemonade was phenomenal.
So good.
I really, really hope that I see them at like more LaSalle um night
Events.
markets or whatever.
Yeah.
Cause yeah, it was really good lemonade. So we
Yeah.
met up with my friend Brad and his son Aaron, and Aaron had brought some Pokemon cards that he collected in his youth. And damn, kid made like almost 300 bucks selling two cards.
Two. Just two.
Two
Like,
cards, 300 bucks.
damn. He
So,
was so proud of himself. Like when he came over after the second sale and he was just shoving all that money into his wallet. It's like, Jesus, how much did he make? And his dad asked him, "What'd you get for the card? 150?" Like, had I known when I was a child that freaking Pokemon cards were going to be worth money, I would have kept the stupid cards that I had instead of just like chucking them away when I was a kid because I never got into it. And at one point in time, I got a few of them just because people would be like, "Oh, hey, I hear kids are into this." I was like, "I'm not." Now I'm
yeah,
like, "I'm an idiot. I should have kept those because that would have been ones from the '90s." They'd be like, "Yeah, here you go. Grade this and give me money."
it's a it's a rookie Pikachu.
Yeah, it's the OG Pikachu. Yeah, that's right. You know you want them. It's like,
When he
oh,
had the black tip tail.
here's the proof. No, you screw off Mandela effect.
So vendor wise, um, so you had collectibles,
Hmm.
you had 3D printed items, you had stickers. There was a lot of sticker booths.
Which
Um,
I have to say, I have a hard time with, and I've seen a bunch of stuff going around online now where it's vendors that are like, okay, you know what, guys, stop bringing these things to fairs because people don't want to buy them. I'm trying to think. A bunch of it was the 3D printed stuff because the other vendors who are like vendors who are doing things like making the pottery or doing artwork or stuff like that, or they're like, stop doing 3D printed things because people know that you can make it for far cheaper at home than you printing something like that and bringing it and being like, oh, hey, for 25 to 50 bucks, you can have this. And you're like, yeah, I can do that at home. I mean, obviously, in your case, you have BC, so
yeah,
he's my
I mean
connection where
you
it's
can
like,
do it at home as long as you have a 3D printer.
yep. Which, because they've come down so much in price, I know more and more people who have them. I think at the rate that they're going, it's going to be one of those things where it becomes more and more popular and more accessible. Because I remember, like, when they first came out, they were like $10,000 to get one.
Yeah,
And it was something stupid where you'd get it and you're like, oh, look at this kind of cool stuff that I can make. And you could make like a little four-leg chair. And then now you
yeah.
look at it and it's for hundreds of dollars instead of thousands of dollars. You can have your own pretty damn good 3D printer to print whatever, the throne of Westeros, for example.
I think, I think, don't quote me, but I think when Brendan bought his 3D printer, well, number one, my husband, who's an IT guy at Ford, in Dearborn, Michigan, he was given a 3D printer by one of his coworkers that had upgraded,
Hmm.
and it was a Frankenstein 3D printer. He had put it together with the parts that he had scavenged and what. And Norm and Brendan had a hard time getting it working, and Brendan was like really excited to start trying to print things, right? So they ultimately made the decision, and Brendan said to Norm, "I'll pay for half," and they bought uh like that year's model. I think how he's had it 2 years now,
Yeah, it's got to
not
be two.
quite two
Yeah.
years.
Yeah,
And I
because
think
there's,
at that time they paid, I want to say 500 and change for it.
yeah, I think that's what it was roughly.
It's not a massive printer. You're not going to print off a suit of armor. It's fuck, I don't think it's as big as my laptop. But I mean, he knows. how he has to take care of his filament and
Hmm.
keep it, sealed, and he knows he's got to cover his printer when it's not in use and all that stuff. He's made us some spectacular things.
Oh my God, yeah, like we've shared it on our TikTok, on our YouTubes. He's he's the one that we go to, like he prints any of the 3D things we need printed. He's the one who does it. He finds the free files for them and it's like, "Oh yeah, I got access to this," and prints whatever. Even when we're just like, "Oh, I don't know, can you find this whatever fidget spinner or this or that?" And he's like, I got this. And he comes back with, here you go. And here's
Yeah.
52 different alternatives that you can have if you don't like that one.
Yeah, it's amazing. So, so 3D printing, which the one guy that had the 3D printing at the end of the one aisle, uh, I don't know if you saw it, but he had like a wall. So, Brendan has made coasters for
Mm-hmm.
our D&D game.
Yep.
Coasters for his father, coasters for myself, and my coasters are the Detroit Red Wings. My husband's are the Montreal Canadiens. He made coasters for friends of ours, Melissa and Andre, the Montreal Canadiens, and that's fine if it's you're making it for yourself. You're
Mm-hmm.
not like selling it because once you sell it and it's got like an NHL, NFL, Major League
Yeah.
Baseball, um, NBA, when it's got their trademark on it, you go into the copyright infringement
Yes.
territory, and all it takes is the wrong person to see that and make a phone call.
That's the hard part that I have for that stuff where I'm like, I think some people are ballsy with what they're willing to
Oh,
sell. Like
absolutely.
there's some things where I watch and I'm like, you're you're willing to put, and I mean some of them, like the sports teams are bad enough, like they're notorious enough to be like, hey yo, you can't sell our stuff without our permission and give us a kickback. But the ones who do Disney related anything, so that means Marvel, Star Wars, any Disney animation for like Lion King, Lilo and Stitch, all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff, I immediately am like, you're ballsy because they are known for coming around and being like, here's the lawsuit. You pay us what you owe us on top of the fact if you will cease and desist this. You're like, cease and
as
desist
as
this.
as a person as a person who had to pay for Napster. I got dinged on Napster, and you guys will love this story because Taylor knows I have three musicians who are the end all be all of my musical iPod playlist. You will always find Metallica, Queen, or Elton John on any playlist on my iPod. Metallica sued me because I downloaded and did not pay for the song that appeared on the Mission Impossible 3 soundtrack, I Disappear. I got the letter that said I owed them, it was like $8 and change US for that song because I didn't pay for it, but I downloaded it. Thanks, Lars. I hope my $8 served you well, you billionaire.
Every eight
so,
dollars counts.
so when Brendan started making his 3D stuff, we were all like, "Ooh, you should open an Etsy store." And then the and like my son just turned 24 on Friday, and he's so smart. It's almost painful because he doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't get angry. He doesn't raise his voice. He just calmly, like very, very calmly within the group of us that were all like, "You should sell this stuff." He was like, "The people that created the file in order for me to build that on my 3D printer, that would be unfair to them because that means I'm selling their work." Okay, I
See,
get
and
it.
I would say it's one of those things of he's it sucks because it's that like double-edged sword that I hate about the world because since he's actually being respectful and kind, he's the one who's getting fucked because you know that there for every one of him there's probably 100 of the other part of it saying, "Oh yeah, yeah, I made these. I printed them. Look at them all here. I sanded them down. I painted them. I have them for sale."
Oh, that guy at FanCon yesterday was a perfect example
Yep,
because looking at his wall of coasters, the exact same Montreal Canadian ones and the exact same Detroit Red Wing ones were on his wall.
yep. And I was saying that's the issue that I know I've seen more and more um, artists. I'll say artists specifically just to try and differentiate between like the vendors in general. But I've seen a lot more from Step Forward where they're like, stop doing this, stop doing that. And 3D printing is one of the big ones because they're like, okay, you're not I'm trying to remember what some of their arguments were, but it was a lot of you're not being creative in your own right. They're like, if you're doing something that is actually yours, like say you created a file and then you put all the work and effort into it and you sold it, then yeah, it's yours. It's not a free out there file. Like there's so many free files to have access to, thankfully. But there are obviously the original creators of it who had to figure out the matrix for it, fumble around with it, do a bunch of trial and error, and they went, haha, eureka, I finally got it. So there's a lot of them who are like, stop reproducing, like don't do mass reproducing of the same thing. Excuse me.
Yeah,
And then try and sell it to us as though you created it from scratch when you got it for free. So it's a 100% markup from that of, hey, whatever you're selling it for, it's nothing but profit for you. Because
yeah.
you spent, especially if it's like the coasters, for example, if you spent 5 cents in
Filament?
filament to create it, and then you went and said, okay, well now I'm selling it for 7.25. Okay, well 7.20 of that is all just nothing but profit for you.
Yeah.
So great profit margin, but also I appreciate what BC says with the he doesn't feel right about using someone else's work to make the profit off of it. So it's kind of good to see, but sad at the same time because I know all of those other people are using the free meshes or anything like that to make a profit off of it. We're like, oh, BC, you're a good person. That's gonna bite you in the ass.
Yeah, so people that we know were there
Mm-hmm.
as vendors. Um and we made new friends too. So
Yes, we did.
the one person that we knew has been a guest on our podcast, and that's CM Forrest. We know him as Christian La Forest, but you guys know him as CM Forrest. And I bought two new books. So this one is his work, and this one is a bevy of stories
Mm.
that he has a story in. And he was there with a friend of his, and that was Ben Van. I'm so sorry if I mess up your name. Ben Van Dongen
I think it's Dongan. I that sounds
Dongen
familiar for how Christian said it.
Dongen Dongen.
Oh, Don
Anyways,
Chan.
we'll say Dongen. It sounds exotic. So he has a short story in this book. He's an author, so he as an author he does have other books out, and he says his books are more sci-fi related,
Uh-huh.
whereas CM's are more horror-ish, horror-ish,
Yeah, the horror-ish, not
horror as in
whorish.
scary.
It's very
So
scary, very scary.
I look forward to diving into these three books in the near future.
When
On
there's
top of
free
the other
time.
17 I gotta read. Um, and hopefully we can get Ben to come on to our podcast. And what would be even better if we could get Ben and Christian to come on together as a duo.
Ooh, that would be fantastic. We should do
So
one of each. We should have him on, we should have Ben, and then we should have both of them together because
absolutely.
is it him that he's
And
doing the
so
collaboration with? Can't remember now.
ooh, that'd be interesting. So
Right?
as we wandered down after talking to Ben and Christian and letting them know that the line was sneaking around the building because they didn't think it was a success.
Yeah. They were like, oh, it's like, and that tells you
It's
how
kind
few
of
people,
dead.
yeah, it tells you how few people they were letting in at a time when they're like, oh, yeah, it's not really, it's okay. It's not really busy. It's like, oh, no, 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 it's busy. Like, it would be hella busy if they let more people in instead of making them roast outside.
Yeah, so as we wandered down, I saw the lemonade people, and after standing outside for, like I said, an hour and 5 minutes, Shvetty,
Yep.
fat gets crispy in the heat.
Yes, it
Um,
does. Unfortunately, it doesn't melt away. It just gets hot.
Taylor wandered off and was talking to two people, and I went to the lemonade, and Brad and Aaron came with me to lemonade. We got lemonade, and when I turned back, I see Taylor, and she's like, ha 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 ha. So I wander over to see what's going on, and she made a new friend. So
I
I'll let
did.
Taylor tell you about her new friend.
So, as you all know, even like based off of the Funko Pops that I just showed, both of them are Star Wars related because, of course, which I purchased off of someone that Dana also knows because Dana knows all of the fun people. Um, so
For
I
somebody that
wandered,
doesn't go out much, I know a lot of people.
right? So I wore my Star Wars shirt yesterday that had the lineup of who is it? Leia, Han, Chewie, Luke, R2, and C3PO on it, and says Rebels underneath it, like they're doing a mugshot, a lineup. So as I walked over towards this booth, what caught my attention was, for those who won't recognize it, Grand Admiral Thrawn. Oop, up a little higher. There we go. Uh, on the front of it, because he is one of my all-time favorite non-force wielding characters, because he's an incredibly intelligent character, so well written and put together, and now he's in Rebels, he's in Ahsoka, all that kind of stuff. So I immediately saw that and I was like, whoo. As I approached, he's like, oh, I love the shirt. And I looked at him like, yeah, it goes perfectly with this. And he proceeded to explain to me how he actually went through and reread the books and actually pulled out quotes from Thrawn about leadership and put them into a leadership novella so that way it could actually be applied to real life so that people can actually use it in their leadership roles and all of that. But he wrote it as though he's actually one of the ISB agents and did a whole thing with it. Now, he does have the disclaimer on the back. This work is unofficial and is not endorsed by or affiliated with Lucasfilm, Disney, or any of its affiliations. All trademark characters remain the property of their respected owners. So he doesn't own any of the rights to it, like the characters per se, but he does write from the perspective of being one of the agents and trying to basically chronicle Thrawn's understanding of the universe so that they don't lose the leadership style. So I was like, that's actually something that I would freaking love. Yoinked that up right away. And he's like, oh, I just love Thrawn. I'm like, yeah, he's one of my favorites. We hit it off right away. And then I go to the The table was literally split in half. The one side had this little novella on it. Then the other side had this novel on it, which is The Oath Taker's Broken, or the Oath Taker Broken. And I'm not entirely certain because I didn't notice at the time that on this one it says Brian Knoller, and then on this one it says J.B. Knowles. So I'm assuming he just goes under different pen names. I'm not entirely certain. However, this second book,
Authors have a way of doing that.
I was going to say they like to have the different pen names for it. I'm like, I couldn't keep that straight in my mind. I would have to just be like, listen, this is my name for all of it.
Who am I today?
Yeah, who am I trying to write as? I don't know. Who am I? So this second book, which when I asked him about, he was like, so he looked kind of hesitant at first. He's like, okay, so this section of the table, very different from that section. He's like, so that's like sci-fi leadership Thrawn over there. I'm like, okay, what's this one? He's like, and the first words that came out of his mouth, he's like, this one's D&D, and I grabbed it and I pulled out my wallet and I was like, so it's 40 for the two books?
Money.
And the his partner that was at the table with him helping sell was like, yes, it's 40. He kind of wanted, like, he still wants to do the sales pitch, can he? I'm like, oh, absolutely. Like, he can keep talking. I'm just saying you're taking my money. Like, I'm taking the book. It's
Guy's still
fine.
talking and Taylor's like making it rain.
That was exactly it, where I'm like, who wants my money? Who wants it? And then the guy's like, oh, do you want him to sign? I'm like, oh, sure, go ahead. So he took it and then proceeded to tell me how, so this book actually took 20 years in the making, essentially, because he was one of the nerds like the rest of us, like Norman. He was playing back in like the 80s, roughly, back when it had its original heyday. And this was his character for D&D back then. And this is who he used to play as. And then he kind of came up with like a story in mind of like an adventure that she went on, and he ended up giving it to a publisher, and they liked it so much that they were like, yeah, can you make this into a trilogy? So he was like, it took me 20 years to write that one, but okay, I guess. So he's actually just finished writing the second one. I'm assuming he'll start writing the third one, or already has started writing the third one now. So it was, of course, an immediate, like, that was just like, yes, take my money. You have both ends of the spectrum for me. You have my Thrawn and you have my D&D. So of course he and I hit it off right away. And I was like, would you be interested in being on a podcast? And he got so excited. He was like, yeah. Like, here's a business card for you as well. Because I finally made our business cards. It took me a while, but I finally did it. Dana liked them. I sent them in, got them all printed. Now we're wandering around with business cards in our pockets. We're like, yeah, you want to be on a podcast? Contact us. It's cool. We sound so cool
Was
when
so
we hand them out.
professional.
I think, God, we're so amazing. So Brian was awesome to get to talk to, and obviously, as Dana said, he and I thoroughly enjoyed chatting to each other. Where it's like, okay, yes, we're talking about Star Wars and D&D. I'm in heaven. And then I promptly followed that up with, I needed a lemonade when I turned around and saw Dana had one. I'm like, where the hell did you get that? Got myself one and then sat there and like guzzled it for a solid minute. And I was like, oh yeah, that was good. I was hot and sweaty and thirsty. And it
Yeah,
was
so and we
so
we
good.
we made our way. We snaked our way through the rest of the vendors, and we came across my friend Jean, who goes
Thank you,
by
friend Jean.
Empty One Collectibles. And he's on TikTok, so we'll tag him in the video because we mention him and
Uh-huh.
we give him some good business. And
Yeah,
that's
because
where Tay
he,
got her
I would say
her
he gave
pops
like
from.
these two tops together came to $25. So worth it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
15 for one, 10 for the other. There's places where you could have gotten that for like I mean, had that other table actually responded when you wanted to know the pricing of things, I have a feeling like their prices were probably, they looked like they were the expensive pops, or they were going to be like, oh, yeah, you can have that pop if you sell your kidney. Like, that's what the vibes it gave.
So, yeah, the stall 2 doors down from Gene had a bunch of Funkos. And I collect them, so I was looking and I saw Freddie Mercury, but I already had it, so I just kind of put that one back down and I wandered over and then I saw that they had like horror movie icons and they had an Art the Clown and I was like, ooh, I don't have an Art the Clown. Could not, could not get the attention of the two people that work there
Hmm.
to for me to say how much. So yeah, they could have made a sale, because there was a couple that I saw I wanted.
Hmm.
One was Smeagol,
Oh, yes.
um, and yeah, so just be more aware that there's people. Don't spend all your time talking to one person who's still trying to make the decision whether or not they want to buy that Funko Pop.
Mm.
Say, here's the price. Come find me if you want it and come go help somebody else.
Yep.
Like basic customer service people. Holy fuck. So,
Well,
yeah, could have
to
made a
me,
sale, but
too,
you didn't because you couldn't be bothered with acknowledging me basically waving my hand in your face. So, fuck off. You didn't make a sale, but yeah, they had some Funkos that I wanted. There's Cannabis Place there, which Anne probably would have spent all of her money on. Um,
yes, that one was, I will admit that that one was also out of place. That and the rafter guy, like those were the two, or the
no,
gutter
no,
guy.
there was a third one.
Who was the third one? Oh, the
The college.
there was a college one?
St. Clair College had a booth.
I didn't even notice
For one
that.
of their sports teams or something like that. It was weird, but publicity's publicity, I guess.
I
Whatever.
would say, you know what? It gets the names out there. I guess I'm sure some places probably look at how Costco goes into everything, and no matter where they are, they come out with sales of memberships and gathering
Yeah,
fresh
but
meat.
Costco, the local college, you know,
That's kind of my thought.
Costco gutters.
Well, especially
I,
when you look at it, like the fact that the gutter guy was right next to swords, and I told my mom when I had said, I was like, "Yeah, there was a gutter guy there," and she laughed. She's like, "Why?" I'm like, "I don't know, but he was right next to the swords," and I thought it was poetic because it's one of those moments where you're like, "Listen, guy, we're at an event where I don't want to spend money on my gutters. I want to spend money on a sword that I'm not even going to use to defend my honor."
yeah,
Is Norm texting saying, "Are we going for groceries yet?"
no, my mom was calling me, so I'm telling Norm to let her know I'm doing a podcast.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, so one of the things that disappointed me too, being that it was a fan con and it was basically a giant nerd convention, um, there's nobody there with D&D dice.
Yes.
One place, but Taylor and I had seen them before,
Uh-huh.
and as much as I can appreciate handmade things,
Uh,
pouring resin into a mold and creating 7 dice does not necessitate $100 a set.
yeah. That's I'd have to agree. Like that's my issue, especially when you have things that like I look at, because Dana and I are part of a monthly dice club. So every month we get a new set of dice, and it's $11 for each of us, and we get a new set. So looking at something like that where it's like, okay, for $11 I get a new set. For $100 I could also get a new set. And yeah, it's, don't get me wrong, there's some cool things to it, But if I'm going to pay that much, like I fully admit, I paid $80 for my one set of dice that I grabbed over in the Ren Fair, but they're made from solid crystal. I'm trying to remember which crystal specifically. Quartz. I
Those
think
are
it,
some nice dice, though.
and I say exactly like to me, it was one of those things where it's like, okay, you have to take the dice and you actually have to like get it down to the size. You have to find a good chunk of crystal to make it, and then think they do. I think the ones that I got it from did the laser etching to get the dice to have the numbers and the like whited out part on it. So they have good heft. They're not easily made per se, and even that it was only $80 American. So I
Yeah.
grabbed it when I was over there. It's like, okay, that I can get, and it's a special. I was at the Ren Fair. I hadn't been to the Ren Fair since I was a kid, so almost 30 years. Like, there were some contributing factors to it. Would I do it every year where I spend $80? No, they're my special dice.
Yeah.
So I love them and I use them when I want to do something special, like a special roll. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna use my crystal die and do it. Whereas for a resin pour, it's I have a hard time paying huge amounts of money for it when you look and see how many people are now doing resin dice. It's like,
Yeah.
makes it kind of for me.
Yeah. So that was a bit disappointing.
Yeah.
Was that there wasn't somebody with more D&D themed stuff. But all in all, FanCon was fun. Will I
Yes.
go again? Absolutely. Do I want to see it grow? Absolutely, even
Yeah.
more.
That'd be amazing.
I think there's so much more that they can do with it. Um, and just, if they get a little better on the people moving.
Hmm. Yeah. Let probably, like I said, didn't have to be a huge amount of more people let in, but they easily could have let in another 30 to 40 people at a time, which would have kept it would have had the feel of actually being fuller, and because the vendors had no idea how long the
Yeah,
line was. Like all of them were to ask the same question because you could see a look of defeat on the vendors' faces when they're like, "Oh, it's not really many people here," and you're like, "No, no, 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 no! I promise you, there's a lot." They're like, "Are there?" I'm like look out the bay doors. You can see like that's how far the line is. There's a shit ton of them. They just aren't inside the building yet. Like they're
yeah,
allowing too few in, and that was kind of sad to see for the vendors because you could see a lot of them if they had 30 to 40 more people in there, you would have seen a more filled effect that would have given the vendors more hope because a lot of the times when we were walking past vendors, you just saw them literally just sitting there,
yeah,
or it's kind of like, oh, you don't think that there's that many people here to actually look at any of your things. So it
yeah.
was kind of sad
Well,
for that fact.
hopefully today goes a little bit better because they are having the cosplay competition today.
Yes.
So hopefully that goes a little bit better and that I plan on sending Christian a message in the next few days to find out how well he did, him and Ben, to
Hmm.
see if, and hopefully January sees a better
Yes.
flow and the vendors, get in there, D&D people.
Yeah. Dice, 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 dice.
Dice, 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 dice. You have dice goblins in LaSalle that one days.
I was going to say, you have the dice goblins. My precious. So yeah, so I think that'll bring this episode to a close. I think we're going to try to be back with a mini-sode hopefully tomorrow once I'm done work because I'm on days this week. So hopefully tomorrow, then we can do our mini-sode on the past last week's episode and this week's episode
Yeah, the two episodes
of
of House of the Dragon.
yep. So I think that we can squeeze that in tomorrow.
And Big Brother started. So we're gonna try to squeeze in Maybe not so much. Um, Maybe we'll try to do a TikTok live on Big Brother.
Ooh, yes. I think that's a good idea. Yes, 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 yes.
So yeah, so watch out. There's things in the pipeline, and we got some nibbles on the line, and hopefully we can reel them in and get some new guests on the show.
Yes.
If you know anybody that you think would want to be on the show, get in contact with us. Obscureorations@gmail.com or DM us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram,
Instagram. You can find us. We're out
Spotify,
there.
even just
Oh,
however,
yeah.
YouTube.
Yep.
And happy Sunday and take care, everyone.
Enjoy your weekend, guys.